still, yet, already, even, anymore, any longer, no longer. Still. We use still to say that the situation or action is continuing. It hasn't changed or stopped. It's 10 o'clock and Tom is still in bed. When I went to bed, Jane was still working. Do you still want to go to the party, or have you changed your mind? Still usually goes in the middle of the sentence with the verb. Any more, any longer, no longer. We use not any more or not any longer to say that the situation has changed. Any more and any longer go at the end of the sentence. Anne doesn't work here anymore or any longer. She left last month. Not Anne doesn't still work here. We used to be good friend, but we aren't anymore or any longer. You can also use no longer. No longer goes in the middle of the sentence. Anne no longer works here. Note that we do not normally use no more in this way. We are no longer friends. Not we are no more friends. Compare still and not anymore. Shayla still works here, but Anne doesn't work here anymore. Yet. Yet means until now. We use yet mainly in negative sentences. I haven't finished yet. And questions, have you finished yet? Yet shows that the speaker is expecting something to happen. Yet usually goes at the end of a sentence. It's 10 o'clock and Tom hasn't got up yet. I'm hungry. Is dinner ready yet? We don't know where we are going for our holidays yet. We often use yet with the present perfect. Have you finished yet? Compare yet and still. Jack lost his job a year ago and is still unemployed. Jack lost his job a year ago and hasn't found another job yet. Is it still raining? Has it stopped raining yet? Still is also possible in negative sentences, before the negative. She said she would be here an hour ago and she still hasn't come. This is similar to she hasn't come yet, but still not shows a stronger feeling, or surprise, or impatience. Compare. I wrote to him last week. He hasn't replied yet, but I expect he will reply soon. I wrote to him months ago, and he still hasn't replied. He should have replied before now. Already. We use already to say that something happens sooner than expected. Already usually goes in the middle of a sentence. When is you going on holiday? She has already gone. That means sooner than you expected. Shall I tell Liz the news, or does she already know? I've only just had lunch, and I'm already hungry. Even. Even is an adverb. We use even to refer to something surprising, unexpected, unusual, or extreme. He didn't even have enough money to pay the rent. You love me even after the terrible things I have done? I had never been abroad before, so it was a wonderful gift. I didn't have to pay for anything. When we got to the airport at Stansted, she had even arranged for the captain to escort me onto the plane. It was a treat I will always remember. Even. Position. When even refers to a whole clause or sentence, we usually put it in the normal mid position for adverbs. between the subject and the main verb, after the modal verb or first auxiliary verb, or after be as a main verb. You can take an online course now, and you even do the test online. I haven't even started making dinner. It's a really useful book if you are interested in cameras. There is even a chapter on buying second-hand ones. We can put even or not even before the part of the clause or sentence we want to focus on. Even a 5-year-old can see that these figures don't add up. They came in cars, in lorries, and even an airplane. It's not usually too busy, not even at weekends. We sometimes put even at the end of a clause or sentence in informal speaking. Compare. I can't remember him at all. I have even forgotten what he looks like. Typical position. I can't remember him at all. I have forgotten what he looks like even. More informal, used in speaking. The word even adds shock, surprise, or excitement to the example. Examples. He loses everything. He even lost his own wedding ring. John has amnesia, and he can't remember anything about the past. He can't even remember his own name. He could become anything. He could even become President of the United States. I love that author, and I have all of his books, even the ones which are out of print. Even though, even when, even if. Use. Even can be combined with the words so, when, and if. It emphasizes that the result is unexpected. Study the following examples and explanation to learn how this expression differ. Examples. Even though Bob studied very hard, he still failed his French tests. Bob always studied hard, but unfortunately he failed the tests. Even when Bob studied very hard, he still failed his French tests. Bob occasionally studied hard, but it didn't really make a difference. Every time he studied, he still failed. Even if Bob studied very hard, he still failed his French tests. Bob didn't normally study very hard, but in the rare situation when he did try to study hard, he still failed the test. Jerry is never happy. Even though you do everything his way, he is still dissatisfied. You do everything his way, but he is still dissatisfied. Jerry is never happy. Even when you do everything his way, he is still dissatisfied. You sometimes try doing things his way, but he is still dissatisfied. Jerry is never happy. Even if you do everything his way, he is still dissatisfied. You have tried doing things his way once or twice, but it makes no difference because he is still dissatisfied. Even though is used when something is always done or a fact is mentioned. Even when is used when something is occasionally done. Even if is used when something is rarely done or just imagined. Examples. Even though the interview went terribly yesterday, Cheryl got the job. Correct. The interview went terribly, but she got the job. Even when the interview went terribly yesterday, Cheryl got the job. Not correct. This sentence is incorrect because the interview didn't go terribly more than one time. There was only one interview, so when is not the right word for the sentence. Even if the interview went terribly yesterday, Cheryl got the job. Correct. You haven't talked to Cheryl since her interview. You imagine that the interview went terribly, but you think she probably got the job anyway. Even though he wins the lottery jackpot, he won't have enough money to pay off his debt. Not correct. The sentence would suggest that he always wins the lottery. Even if he wins the lottery jackpot, he won't have enough money to pay off his debt. Correct. There is a chance in a million that he might win the lottery jackpot, but it wouldn't make any difference because he still wouldn't have enough money to pay off his debt. Remember, the meaning and context of the sentence is very important when deciding whether to use even though, even when, or even if. Even so. Use. Even so is very much like the word but or however. Even so is different in that it is used with surprising or unexpected results. Examples. She is loud and unfriendly. Even so I like her. She is loud and unfriendly, so it is unexpected that I like her. The bed is extremely large and heavy. Even so, Jim managed to carry it into the house by himself. It is unexpected that Jim could carry the bed by himself. Jane was sick for a couple days in Los Angeles. Even so, she said her trip to the United States was great. If she was sick, it is unexpected that she enjoyed the trip. Let's have some trial tests now. You have to choose the right answer. You don't have to do it. I've done it. A. Still. B. Yet. C. Already. D. No longer. E. Anymore.